Hello, hello, hello. Are we having fun yet? I think we're having fun. Messes. Everywhere. Hey, someone going somewhere. So I suppose I am some level of essential. Ugh. But I don't feel essential, you know? Everything's going all right with us. We're just, we're chilling. It's actually not that much of a difference for us to be so, insular, I guess, segregated, isolated. It's not too big of a deal. Business is up, kind of strangely. I don't know. People are getting sick of their keyboards or something. I don't know. Maybe they can have nice, clacky keyboards when they're working from home. It's a strange thing. Said I wasn't going to remind you again, but I feel generous. You guys are downloading stuff off YouTube, right? Important things, important videos you might need, you know, just this vast wealth of knowledge. It's sitting there at your fingertips. Should hold on to that. Terabyte drives are cheap, I'm sure. Though whether or not you can buy them as essential at this point is questionable. Last update was about toilet paper, of all the things. And of all the things, toilet paper is still the one thing that remains difficult to get. There's still high demand on like meats and stuff like that, but meats and eggs, but toilet paper is gone. Giggity gone. There was some question as to supply. But on the front of news that actually matters, meat packing plants are getting shut down. Which expresses a level of confusion that I cannot fathom. This is the equivalent of saying firewood. Well, it's a pretty direct comparison. You're gonna make the grocery workers essential, so they work without protective equipment, but you're not gonna make the meat packing plants and the producers that make the food that gets shipped to the grocery stores essential. Blood for the blood god. I don't like it. Technically, the most efficient way of generous population decreasement is famine. The F word. And this is where the argument of, well, it's just better that we overreact than underreact. It's like saying, oh, there's a bug on my foot. I'll get it with my gun. Got the bug. Good job. But maybe you should have dealt with the bug bite rather than the shotgun blast. There are many topics that I would like to talk about, and some are not as productive, and some are scarier. And I'm trying to to measure here. Weightlifting equipment. You know, that's actually, I wouldn't call it, I guess you can call it self-improvement, or it's a measure of diversion, I guess. People living in wartime or war zones aren't like, oh man, I gotta get my swole on. They're just filthy addicts. But the same way that runners are addicts, there's a little bit of a high that you get, and an endorphin release that you get when you punish your body physically. And they're chasing the dragon, man, because the gyms are shut down, and the gym bros are jonesing. So you can't get fitness equipment anywhere. I think I checked. I have like one 20-pound dumbbell, and I want to sell it on the black market for $400 or something. Oh man, it's just hilarious. The strangest things. Oh, what I was saying was that it is actually historically a wartime, war zone-y thing to crave comforts, which sounds, well, you know, it is what it is. Even women in African war zones, as little, I think it was a couple years ago, were questioned for what they could be provided with that would make them happier. And it wasn't food or medicine or, you know, things for their children. It was makeup. It was vanity items. And the same to an extent for men, although that was not recent. That was in World War II. Men were desirous of creature comforts, companionships, and like chocolate, things like that. I might be remembering wrong. The point is, people want the little luxuries. They miss the little luxuries, and they want to be able to pretend as though they have those little luxuries, if only for a little bit, because they're very, very much aware that they don't have those luxuries. So, I don't know. It's just weird. But I guess it's to be expected. That is an important thing to note for your preps. Things that other people would want that you wouldn't or shouldn't necessarily want, but who knows? Maybe you do. And I've never been in that kind of a situation, so maybe I would too. Who knows? Oh, Microsoft posted made an ad campaign featuring the prominently known Satanist, whatever her name is, of spirit cooking fame, and yeah, I was just like, but Bill Gates worships the devil. What did you expect? Like, not hypothetically or metaphorically, like literally. And that's something that people are coming around to, logical, rational people who expect people to behave in logical, rational ways. And especially free marketers find people who have risen to the top and say, this is someone to be emulated, because clearly they have affected, they have risked and received their reward. And that's just not necessarily the case. There's one king with a little k of this world who has, I think, mostly control. I don't think he has control over free will, but he's the god of this world, of this plane, this existence here. He's the little g god, and people worship him in order to receive power and vanities and things like that. And they do so, and have done so for, well, probably since time began. You know, there's a reason there was firstborn sacrifice happening thousands and thousands of years ago, sacrificing to gods and different things that they worshipped. Well, that god has many names. And you look at these captains of industry, and the mask slips slightly, and you go, well, that's kind of weird. That was kind of odd. And then something as obvious as this comes out, and you're like, but, like, that's just a meme, right? You don't literally worship Satan, do you? And they're like, well, what you need to understand is Satan has as much power as God has. And here's why you should. It's like, okay. I tell you, the in-your-face evil and inversion and Satanism of this modern world is converting more people to Christianity or to the belief in God than probably all the proselytizing ever could. And it's a test of your ability to see things, because if you choose not to see things, then guess what? You won't see them. But if you choose to see things, then you can't unsee it. And every day it becomes more and more evident, and every day becomes more and more frustrating, while people are like, well, yeah, Bill Gates and that spirit cooking lady. I mean, yeah, she's technically a cannibal, but I mean, I don't even know what you say to it. It's just funny stuff. Not funny, haha, more like funny, But, you know, Revelation is a revealing, and apocalypse is actually, the word means revealing, the great revealing, like withdrawing of a curtain. Is everyone having fun yet?